got the old GP3 cars at the circuit, the Bahrain, and of course a combination that was raced back in the day. A combination that was, I think, was made quite famous by a majestic comeback drive of the driver currently carrying number 16 in Formula 1, Charles Leclerc, who had a majestic comeback drive at this exact track in this exact car. If you will see a comeback drive today, well, who knows? But first we start with qualifying, and 8.5 minutes are remaining of that. We've had about 11.5 minutes of qualifying already. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of it, and of course, who else than Anthony Wen is leading the pack at the moment. Look at the slipstream he's getting from the car ahead. I'm going to tell you know who the car ahead is. It's Taylor who is chasing him down. It's Josh Taylor, I think it's Josh Taylor who is chasing him down. He's in second, Matt Haynes in third, Cody Jump in fourth. It's Ryan Kostarek in fifth, ahead of Andrew Berrien in sixth. Alex Ranza seventh, then Cardwell in eighth, and Cole in ninth. It's Justin Taylor. Okay, there you go. Thank you for the correction there. Production in the background correcting in that. So Justin Taylor in P1. Stick more with my guts there. My first intuition was right there. But let's talk about Anthony Wen, who has, ever since I've been here, really won these community cups. Can he make it another one? That's the question that we are all asking ourselves. Of course, he started it so beautifully last time round with just another victory. And for him, well, to be honest, that's not really strange at all. Anthony Wen wins these races like it's nothing. And because of that, finds himself mostly at the top of the standings. Last season, he had to perform well in the last race because one of our drivers wasn't there. Can't quite remember who that was. But I do know that he had to finish in the top 3 if he even wanted to think about winning the championship. Now, don't give Anthony Wen a chance or even a look at something like that, because you just know that he will perform and that he will be able to do that. So yeah, I mean, for everyone else it was just a matter of just drive and see Anthony Wen either walk away with it or struggle a little. But struggling is what the competition did then. Anthony Wen was able to walk away with another Community Cup win, but that for sure the most contested one out of the lot. Here's Ryan Kostarek at the moment in P3, 1:45.6, 1.3 seconds back on Justin Taylor. And Anthony Wen in P1, almost a second ahead of our man in second. Those are differences that we are, let's be quite honest, not used to seeing. We've become quite accustomed here at the One Line Racing Centre for these races to be extremely close. That's also what we are hoping for this one. Across the line then with Anthony Wen. Can he improve on his time? The answer to that question is a no, but what this will give us is a perfect lap on board of this Bahrain track into turn 1, shifting all the way down to first gear. Watch it on the acceleration through turn 2. So many drivers who've spun the rear of this car round through there. So many drivers who are going to do that today. It's just such a tricky section. Then into turn 3. Shifted down into third, wait for the car to sit, then go on power, then this section. It's a beautiful section. It's a section that's much tighter than you think it is. As we shoot it down into turn 8. Once again, low speed corner, watch on exit, don't overheat the tires by sliding them too much. Burnouts are cool, but only if they're controlled and not in these kind of manners. These cars have a lot of power and not that much aerodynamic grip. At least not compared to how much power they have, and that's what we just saw, using all of the track and a bit more with Anthony Wen going into turn 11, uphill now through turn 12. This will be a little lift and then flat out to the exits of turn 14 into turn 15. Hook it in, slightly missed the apex on board with Anthony Wen. Hasn't been a perfect lap so far. I'm intrigued to see if there's even going to be an improvement. Justin Taylor has improved to a 1:43.915 into the last corner. Turn 16 on this track, and then 17 here. This is quite a little kink. I don't quite count it as a corner. It's flat out through there. Across the line for Anthony Wen. Can he improve his time? Yes, he can, but not by much. 43.377. And that is not enough to give him a massive improvement. It's enough to give him an improvement of about a 1/10 of a second. But like I said, that was not a perfect lap, so there's much more time in there to find for Anthony Wen. On board with Cody Jump now, he goes across the line to put in a time of 1:45.466, so that's an improvement for him too. But that is a 1.5 second gap to P2. And not to P1. That gap is 2.1 seconds for Cody Jump. Quite a massive gap to overcome. Ryan Vostarek now in P4, 1:45.688. It's not like these guys are driving slow either. It's just that Anthony Wen and Justin Taylor are just on another planet at the moment. Behind Cody Jump, you have Ryan Vostarek, Alex Duranza and Matt Haynes all within 0.3 of a second. So it's not like those four are going slow, it's just that Anthony Wen and Justin Taylor are just on a completely different planet at the moment. 0.2 and a little more is what Ryan Vostarek needs to improve up into the top 3 and onto the podium for the start of this race. We'll get one more lap across the line for Ryan Vostarek. Will it be an improvement? The answer is a resounding no. Needs more time and needs to find more time if he wants more positions for the race. Matt Haynes back into pit lane. That's his qualifying done. Ryan Vostarek, like I said, he will get one more go. Matt Haynes, though, improved up into P3 and did get himself down into the 1:44.7s. Seth Cardwell across the line for him on a 46.5 at the moment. Stays on a 46.5. Does have one more lap, though, to find more lap time. Gets one more go at it. No, that's one car cutting the track. And is that to get one more lap in? That's the question. If that's the case, I fear we're gonna have to have a look at that. It doesn't seem quite fair, but Seth Cardwell luckily not impeded by it. As Anthony Wen's got even quicker, 1:43.139 for our provisional pole sitter, Anthony Wen. Mega lap time by our champion. Andrew Berrien is on an outlap. So that's not going to bring enough either. Across the line, Justin Taylor gets one more go at it. He will be last across the line in this session. Ryan Vostarek across the line now. He jumps up into P4. 1:45.377 for Ryan Vostarek. And that is one more position and one starting row further to the front. Justin Taylor, though, all eyes are on him. Opening up turn 7 quite nicely. No, turn 8, excuse me. Through turn 9 and 10, this is the tricky point. Don't lock up your front left, slight lock up, but that's quite fine. Be careful on the power application out of turn 11. Out of turn 10. Going into turn 11 now. Use all of the track and just a little more of it. No. Anthony Wen uses more of the track there. Anthony Wen has more of a, well, how should we put it? A Franco Colapinto approach to it. Also missing the apex, slightly coming through 15, slightly wide also on the exit. Just looks a little wild. Into the last corner, also quite wild, and a snap of oversteer. Justin Taylor's into the wall. And that is gonna be qualifying done. Grid is set for the race, and who else but Anthony Wen has taken pole position again. Justin Taylor puts himself on the front row, couldn't quite attack that lap time on his last tour around the track in qualifying, but still a front row start for him. He'll be happy with that. Matt Haynes in third out of Ryan Vosterek in P4. Massive lap time though by Matt Haynes to put in a 1:44.7. That's still 8/10 away from Justin Taylor. And that's a mere 1.6 seconds away from Anthony Wen. Mega pace by those two at the front. Cody Jump in fifth, out of Alex Oranza in sixth. Alex Coral in seventh, out of Seth Cardwell in eighth, and Andrew Berrien on the last starting row of the grid in P number 9. And then it's time to get this race underway. Anthony Wen, Justin Taylor on the front row of the grid. Main championship protagonists as it's looked so far. Matt Haynes with a seasonal best performance in the second round of the championship. Third place for him. Ryan Vosterek in fourth. Cody Jump in fifth. Alex Oranza sixth. Alice Coral seventh. Seth Cardwell in eighth. And Andrew Berrien in P9. That's how they all line up for this race. 6 red lights are awaiting us on the gantry in front of these 9 gladiators ready to take to the circuit, the Bahrain. 6 red lights are up, they're out, we are underway and racing. Anthony Wen and Justin Taylor from the front row of the grid. Justin Taylor with a little bit of a bad start, putting it onside is Matt Haynes in turn 1, and to fend off Justin Taylor is Anthony Wen. Justin Taylor to the insides of Anthony Wen, the outside to turn 2, but he swoops round the outside to take the lead. There's a massive crash in the background, that's Matt Haynes from a best starting position to into the wall after turn 2. Two completely different starts for two drivers is at the front. Justin Taylor storming to the front of the pack, and Matt Haynes storming to the back of it. Ryan Vostarek, because of that, has taken up P3. Seth Cardwell in P4. Andrew Berry in 5th. As around goes Seth Cardwell. I should shut up. Commentator curse for Seth Cardwell. I excuse myself to your address, Mr. Seth Cardwell. As there's all kinds of things going on further back in the field, Jean Alex and Seth Cardwell. Those two just trying to figure out where exactly in the running order or in the pecking order they want to fit in. Alex Oranza on the back of Cody Jump now. Matt Haynes starting to close up to all of these. Oh, Alex Coral. That's going round. Out the back of the pack, Anthony Wendell and Justin Taylor. The ones fighting there at the front. That was 1.1 seconds at the front for Justin Taylor. But Anthony went eating into that lead already. Not the best of starts that we've seen from Anthony Wen. Normally one of his stronger points. The start of the race, Seth Cardwell goes through because that's Alex Alonso spinning his way round at turn 1. I fear that was just locking the rear tires under braking, heavy braking zone turn 1. And Alex Alonso to the back of the pack. Seth Cardwell, who was at the rear of this field, about a lap ago now, has worked his way up to 6th again. Cody jumped the next ahead of him. It will be an easy target to pass, but Seth Cardwell at least not at the rear of it anymore. Anthony Wen on the back of Justin Taylor. This is for the lead of the race. Remember, 30 minutes of racing installed for us. We've just passed the 3-minute mark, so plenty of racing to go. This race is going to settle down at some point. The question is this, when will that be? And who will be at the front when that happens? Gap is 0.6 of a second. Let's see what the slipstream does on the main straight. Gap back down to 5. About 0.2 of a second here, the slipstream. No DRS, I think, in these cars. No DRS in these cars for them to open. Justin Taylor gets saved just a tiny bit. But Justin Taylor just couldn't get close to the lap times that Anthony Wen was putting in qualifying. And it seems like somehow now he's able to almost drive away from Anthony Wen. Consistency is key in a race. And that is what Justin Taylor at the front is providing. This final round. Here we go, he's closer now, isn't he? 0.2 of a second, runs a little wide onto the curb. That's going to compromise him on the exit. You really want to stay off that exit curb. 0.4 of a second, I don't think it's close enough. I do not think he's close enough, and especially with that exit, I think he's going to have to wait another lap here. A good exit out of turn 2 will also do it for him. Exit out turn 2, especially out of turn 1, was not good enough for Anthony Wen, so he has to wait another lap. This is looking a little further back at Matt Haynes, driver who started third on the grid, but not even exiting turn 2. He was already dropping to the rear of the field. It's quite an understatement, I think, to say that Matt Haynes has had a tricky couple of laps here at the start of this one. Cody Jump finds himself in 5th ahead of Matt Haynes, but also behind Andrew Berrien, 2.1 seconds. Andrew Berrien himself 7.4 seconds back on Ryan Vostarek, who's just done nothing wrong in this race, and all the chaos has kicked off behind him. Same goes for Andrew Berrien. So Ryan Vostarek 7.7 seconds back on the top 2, but also 7.1 seconds clear of Andrew Berrien, courtesy of just staying safe and putting in consistent lap times. Yeah, Anthony Wen's lost more time on this lap. Like I said, it's that consistency that is carrying Justin Taylor through this race at the moment. Here's Anthony Wen. Oh, he's now close to the back of Justin Taylor. Bit of a mistake from Justin Taylor. And now Justin Taylor has to watch out. Now he's vulnerable. Different lines through turn 14 by both drivers. There's that battle for the lead. Half a second is the gap. Half a second is also the gap between Andrew Berrien and Cody Jump. Has slowly but surely been chipping away on that lead from Andrew Berrien over him. Andrew Berrien going defensive into turn 1, then dropping back over to the racing line, and boom, contact between the two drivers. Cody Jump into the back of Andrew Berrien. Andrew Berrien moving over to the racing line quite late, and Cody Jump clearly not expecting that. But I think it's a big snap on the rear end of that machine for Cody Jump. When is Andrew Berrien going to crack under this pressure from Cody Jump? Did well to keep that car even in the pointing the right direction after the contact with Cody Jump. Just a little too far over the curb. They tried looking at the line. I thought he was going to have a mega exit, Andrew Berrien. But just too far over the curb. Braking though for turn 13 or turn 11 much better. Meanwhile though, the gap at the front of the field has opened up massively. Good jump now, drawn alongside Andrew Bahrain. Last lap there was contact at this exact place. This time round, Cody Jump has clear track ahead. There was almost contact again. Was there contact? Andrew Bahrain has gone round. Catching up to him now is Matt Haynes, and he goes up into 5th. From being to the rear of this field, P9 up into P5 now, before even the halfway point of this race. Andrew Bahrain, was there contact with Cody Jump? It didn't look like it from the camera angle we saw it at. It just looked like Cody or Andrew Bahrain was a little too eager on power application after he was overtaken by Cody Jump, got caught up in all the action and just got too excited on the loud pedal. Gap was up to 1.9, it's come down about half a second this lap. Haynes has also gotten past Cody Jump. Matt Haynes is up into 4th. But where does it stop for Matt Haynes is the question. He's been mega throughout this race. And you have to ask yourself, what would have been possible if he just started from P3? With the 2 at the front, just seemingly not finding a rhythm at all. Anthony Wen. Where is he going to find himself come the end of this race? In qualifying, it looked like he was clear on pace. Nobody would have been close to him. But the race has told us a complete different story as Anthony Wen goes round. Championship leader after round 1, around at turn 16 of this racetrack. Ryan Vosterek getting closer to the back of Anthony Wen. Gap down by about 8 seconds. But the gap at the front of the field is up to 11 seconds between Justin Taylor and Anthony Wen. And I think we know exactly where Anthony Wen's going to find himself come the end of this one. 15 minutes left. Oh, Cody Jump goes round for another one. Alex Aranza up into 5th. Cody Jump through the gravel trap. Alex Aranza now up into 5th. Matt Haynes still finding himself in P4. About 15 seconds back on Ryan Vosterek. But what a moment that was. Championship leader. And P2 in the race, going round at the final corner of the racetrack. Gap up to 11 seconds at the front. Now, Justin Taylor has to drive without a mistake, but can drop about a second a lap to Anthony Wen. And still finish in first. Here's Alex Oranza, 3 seconds back on Matt Haynes, but here is our race leader, Justin Taylor, with a majestic gap of about 10.6 seconds now. He cannot relax. He cannot relax. Because if he does that, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to make sloppy mistakes. Plus, he's going to open himself up to a comeback drive from Anthony Wen. I said, will we see comebacks today? Well, we will have to see one from Anthony Wen. Where is Alex Core going, is my question. But Justin Taylor has to live with the mentality of never back down. Of course, he can take it a little bit easier. Don't take as much risk as you normally would. Maybe try and preserve those tires a little to have more, even if he catches up at the end. There's one thing's for sure, and that's that Anthony Wen has to take everything out of his tires to catch back up to Justin Taylor. And there in the background, you can see Anthony Wen going into turn 1. A run through the field end. Justin Taylor leads the way ahead of Anthony Wen, who we're seeing now on P2. Behind him, last spot on the podium, is Ryan Vostarek, who is ahead of Matt Haynes in P4. Alex Ranza finds himself in P5. Mega drive, by the way, from Matt Haynes. Qualified in 3rd. Best qualifying of the season, but didn't even get to come out of turn 2 before he was facing the wrong direction and hard into the wall. On the exit of turn 2, back down into P9, and throughout this race has slowly but surely climbed his way back up to P4. Alex Oranza P5, 2 seconds back now on Matt Haynes, and gaining. So we might see a battle for 4th position soon. Cody Jump in P6 ahead of Seth Cardwell in 7th. Andrew Berrien, who was up as high as P3, but then went around. Contact with Ryan Vostarek, I think, or no, with Matt Haynes, excuse me. And because of that, is down in 8th. And Coral just having a tough race in general. Down in P9. Justin Taylor, 9 seconds in front still of Anthony Wen, but Anthony Wen, looking at the lap times, Justin Taylor, 1:44.579. Lap time of Anthony Wen. Oh, as there was a spinner. Who was that spinner? Okay, it was Coral on the infield of turn 1. So nothing for position there for these drivers. They have now lapped Alex Coral. Here's Andrew Berrien. trying to make up for positions lost earlier on. Big look up for Seth Cardinal, and they do! Excuse me. Jesus, there you go, we're back! Oh my god, that caught me off guard. With a synchronized spin. Coming out of turn 9. And both of them going round. Here is Justin Taylor, who now has got more seconds remaining to Anthony Wen than minutes in this race. Anthony Wen has been gaining, has gained 4 seconds already on Justin Taylor over the laps that he has been behind him ever since he spun. But it's just not enough at the moment. Something needs to happen to Justin Taylor for Anthony Wen to be brought back into the race for victory here. The only thing he can do is push as hard as he can. There he is in the background, Anthony Wen. But push as hard as he can to try and force Justin Taylor to push a little harder too. And maybe that way try and force a mistake out of Justin Taylor, but it seems quite unlikely to still happen for Anthony Wen. Ryan Vosterek now 21 seconds back. 16 seconds back of him is Matt Haynes. Alex Alonso slowly but surely still chipping into that lead of Alex Alonso. Here's Justin Taylor again coming around to finish another lap in this race. And here's the man chasing him down, Anthony Wen. 7.3 seconds the gap. 43.3 by Anthony Wen. That's close to qualifying pace. I wish there was a way to show fastest laps in this race. But I'm afraid there isn't, because I have a feeling the fastest lap of Anthony Wen could well be down into the 142s. And that's quicker than qualifying pace. But he is pushing, he's hustling. And he knows how to hustle. at the pre-qual times, see that Justin Taylor's fastest lap was a 43.6. And he didn't get any faster than that in qualifying here. That was in the 2 weeks that he had to qualify for this event. Pre-qualifying, Anthony Wen's fastest lap time was a 42.6. A full second faster. And that's the pace that Anthony Wen has in his locker. I would love to see the fastest lap of Anthony Wen last time round. I have a feeling that might have dipped into the 42s as well. No, 43.4. 6/10 gained again on Justin Taylor. But that moment there negates all of that time gained again. It's Justin Taylor's gap back up to 7.3. But he has for sure put the pressure on Anthony Wen. On Justin Taylor. But with just under 3 minutes remaining, this race is not going to be won on pace anymore by Anthony Wen. It's going to be won on luck. The race won on pace has already been done by Justin Taylor. He just needs to bring it across the line. 2 more laps remaining after this one. Comes Justin Taylor. 2 laps to go. And Anthony Wen has 2 more laps to chase down Justin Taylor. But he also must know that on pace alone, this race is not going to be won anymore. He needs a mistake from Justin Taylor. He needs a moment of... He needs to slip up. It's as simple as that. A moment of distraction, no concentration for Justin Taylor. That's the only thing that will bring Anthony Wen back into this race with victory. And it shows that Anthony Wen had the pace to run away with this victory if he did get out ahead, but he didn't. Justin Taylor didn't beat him off the line. He did beat him out of acceleration, out of turn 2. Put the pressure on him under braking of turn 1. And Anthony Wen cracked under that pressure. For the remaining 12 minutes, Anthony Wen was putting on the pressure on this Justin Taylor. The difference is though, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Taylor never cracked under that pressure. Under the pressure that Anthony Wen did crack under. And that ultimately is what has brought the difference here today. Final lap's going to be started by Justin Taylor, followed 6.3 seconds behind by Anthony Wen across the line, 43.1 last time round. Another mega lap time by Anthony Wen, but it just isn't enough. With that spinny out coming out of the last corner, he knew that he needed a miracle to win this race. Past Matt Haynes, that gap is also still 1.6 seconds. Coral has officially just gone a lap down on Andrew Berry and he's gone into the pits. Tough race for him. However, there's a car in front of him. That might be Andrew Berrien, and he's coming up to lap. Yeah, it is Andrew Berrien. Is Andrew Berrien going to drop himself behind the leader to do one less lap? Or one lap less? I don't think he is going to do that. And he also won't be in the way of our leader. He'll just cruise to the line now. Because this race was won with about had endured the pressure from Anthony Wen for 10 plus minutes. Relentless pressure. That pressure came to an end right at this point of the track, and Justin Taylor wins Community Cup race number 2 at Bahrain in the GP3s. Anthony Wen comes home to finish second. Ryan Wostarek finishes third ahead of Matt Haynes in P4. But Ryan Wostarek has not been slow today. The two in front of him have just been, like they were in qualifying, on a completely different planet. Ryan Wostarek comes through to round off the podium and finishes a mere 40 seconds behind Justin Taylor after just half an hour of racing. That's how quick the two at the front were today. Matt Haynes comes through to complete a comeback drive to P4. Was down in last place coming out of turn 2, lap 1. But he fought back, he never gave up. And that gives him 4th place for this race. Alex Aranza also had to fight for his positions. Wasn't an easy race for him either. But he finishes in P5. Cody Jump was up as high as P4. Couldn't make that stick. Ultimately, he's going to end up in P6. And he didn't drop back behind the leader, because he did want to do an extra lap. He did want to show that he is not giving up on P7 just yet. Ultimately though, he was just too far back. Andrew Barron, after his spin coming out of turn 1, could never fully recover. He finishes down in 8th position. And that is how you ride off a race car at the end of a race. Well then, let's quickly run through the results. Justin Taylor wins ahead of Anthony Wen in P2. P3 for Ryan Wostarek ahead of Matt Haynes. Alex Aranza in 5th, ahead of Cody Jump in 6th. Seth Cartwell 7th, Andrew Barrion in 8th. And Coral down in P9. That's it then for round 2 of the One Line Racing Centre Autumn Community Cup. We have a new winner this season under the name of Justin Taylor. Can he bring the fight to Anthony Wen this season? That's the question everybody will be asking themselves after round 2. We'll be back though in 2 weeks' time with round number 3 of the One Line Racing Centre Autumn Community Cup. Until then though, stay safe and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye!